Hello, AfterBuzz TV fans, and welcome to another episode of the Transformers Robots in Disguise After Show. Today we are covering Episode 7, Misdirection, and Episode 8, Bumblebee's Night Off. See you after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I will never regret this song.
It's such a good song.
It really is.
That was beautiful. I love that.
Thanks, yeah. I'm really good at singing guitar riffs,
Yes.
you guys.
Yep. At some point, we're doing the touch in here, and we're doing arrangement, and it'll be great.
It'll be magical.
That'll be fantastic.
Magical.
Anyway, hello everyone. Like we said, welcome back to the AfterBuzz TV Robots in Disguise After Show. We're hitting 7 and 8, so we'll be caught up, and it'll be great. Woo! And with me, of course, is the wonderful Alexis the Wrecker Torres.
I'm so glad to be back. You can find me all over social media at atorres890.
Emma the Speedster Fyffe.
Hello, that's me. You can find me all over the internet at Emma Fyffe.
Megan Lord Megantron Salinas.
Hey guys, you can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
And I am Katie Kia Prime Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at KiaXet. That's KIAXET. We have the Twitter hashtag going. That's ABTVRID. We also have the live chat up. So if you have something fun to say, any commentary on the episode, questions, tweet us, put it in the live chat, and you may well get a shout out. So let's hit episode 7 first. What did you guys think of this?
Right now, all I can think is I'm really glad this music is still
I'm so distracted.
Well, I picked the music because of this episode.
Episode 7. Holy moly. You guys, this episode was a thing of beauty.
It was.
I loved it. I mean, I loved both of these episodes because episode 8 was super duper fun, and I loved the concept behind it, and just seeing Bee and Denny as well just fanboy over like a 80s glam rock band was amazing.
It was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. It was a thing of beauty for sure. But gosh, episode 7 was so good. It had those really good storytelling elements of like the deceitful villain, which is one of the things that has actually been really consistent throughout Transformers history. And it was
Starscream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's face it, guys, Steeljaw is much better at being Starscream than Starscream is.
Well, he
better.
improves upon people's mistakes.
This is true.
I
Yeah.
mean, Starscream had a habit of getting in his own way.
Right.
And so far, Steeljaw hasn't
So badly.
exhibited that.
I know.
Oh my God, Starscream's worst enemy is Starscream.
No, every
Let's
time.
be real.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
But Steeljaw, not that quite as much.
Yeah.
He's shown that he can learn, and I'm very happy that my prediction came true, and he is the Starscream for the Bugbot Brigade. Like,
Yep.
yes!
You know who he actually reminds me of? You're very similar to Starscream, but he actually reminds me of Arachnid a lot from season
Yeah.
1.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, where it's like, I'm clearly power hungry
Yes.
and climbing
Yes,
the
yes.
ranks, but I'm way better at it than you.
She is, and also you get, because with Starscream you always kind of got the sense of like, yes, Starscream is on his own side, but ultimately like he is like Megatron's ultimate lackey.
Yeah.
And with Arachnid, you always felt like she was totally on her own side.
yeah.
Yep.
And I think that Steeljaw is very much like that. And again, he brings back that idea that he introduced in the finale of the last season, where he's talking about how he wants to make Earth basically a peaceful Decepticon haven, which is just, it's so, I love the way he tries to stand it because
I can rule.
Right, because you know that he is a bad guy. Like, he's absolutely a bad guy. But the way he tries to spin it is in such a way where you're like, well, maybe Decepticons are just misunderstood.
We totally are.
The world is a mess, and I just need to rule it.
Yes.
No, that's the thing about, and I like this can be very much contributed to both the way he's written and the way he's performed by Troy Baker. Is that I want
The
I
Vegas.
I know,
The Vegas.
but I want to believe him because again,
yeah.
everybody
Oh,
loves that good redemption storyline.
Right.
I want to believe that he is earnest in
Totally.
those things, but it's totally a power hungry.
Oh, I am
Oh,
just
yeah.
waiting until he pulls the rug out from under people and getting it this episode. And at episode 7, we're at the halfway point of this season.
Yeah.
We only have 13 episodes to watch.
That was a surprise.
I
And
know,
so
yeah.
having it be, instead of moving towards resolution, it's like, oh no, we just brought back every single player from last season and added a whole bunch from this season. Like the episode
Yeah.
after this, Bisk had an episode.
Yeah.
Hey, Bisk!
He didn't
He added to his
Love it.
2 minutes of screen time. Like, but I really liked him, as it turned out. I kind of like Bisk. This is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this episode is really gratifying because we've had a couple episodes of not filler per se, but
filler.
But filler and
it's a creature of the week. You know, we're learning a lesson, that sort of thing. And this one, when it became plot heavy again, it hit the ground running. Not only did we have stuff with Scorponok's troops, but we had stuff with previously established cons, and we brought back literally everyone.
Everyone needs a nickname.
Everyone needs a nickname. I gotta be honest with you. When I was gonna say that was the only who I was about to bring up. I was like, oh, it's Uncle PJ, and then they called him Thunderhoof, and I was like, I literally completely forgot that was his name
because he's just Uncle PJ.
He's just Uncle PJ.
Believe me, I had a hell of a time remembering Steeljaw's name in season 1 because it was just, it's Hungry Like the Wolf. What is his name? Shoot.
Troy Bakerbot.
Well, that's like, I'm already doing that with Glowstrike. I'm referring to her in my brain as Azulabot. So.
Which she is fantastic. Oh, and even though we've only gotten like snippets of her, she's so
glorious.
great.
I keep thinking of Biska's Rock Lobster.
Yes.
I am okay with this.
I am okay with very, very appropriate too, given his role in episode 8.
Yes.
I just B-52s, you guys. Yeah. The B-52s were weird as anything.
I was so confused, but I was like, I'm okay with it at the same time.
Yeah. But the other thing I really liked, like, not only did we get back to like a very progressive in terms of our story, but we also got a lot of kind of plot threads from season 1 that came back. You know, Thunderhoof and Steeljaw had issues. And of course, the best thing of the episode, Strongarm and Steeljaw.
Strongarm beating the daylights out of him.
That fight
just
was amazing because when it started, I had this moment of terror where I'm like, please don't let her get beat up by him. Please don't let her get beat up by him. And then she totally kicked his butt, and it was amazing.
Sheila Fix It starting with Save Yourself, Strongarm, and Russell going, forget that, kick his metal tail, and we were all like, Russell!
It was so funny because, like, the peanut gallery in the show were basically what we were yelling at the television. We were watching it.
Just going, finish him.
Yeah, every single time.
Yeah.
And the fact that she doesn't make the let him go or save my friends choice, like, no, she hits him in the face, takes the remote, and just takes charge, like, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the third option that so few people even realize is there.
Yep.
Like, bless.
It was definitely the strong arm episode that I needed.
Yeah, I totally
it was
agree.
So good.
Yeah.
Especially after we had the really weird treatment with Windblade.
Yeah.
A few episodes.
It's almost like this one was an apology. They were like, we know
we
that
got
other one was
screwed up.
weird.
Like, that one was really weird, but we're going to give you this, and it's going to be amazing.
Yep.
And it was amazing.
It was just glorious, and I want more of that.
I think we were all wordless.
Apology accepted.
And I also
gotcha.
There you go.
And I also like that at the conclusion of it, it's like, yes, he does get away, but Strongarm doesn't even have a moment of being like, oh man, I failed, I let him get away. She was just like, nope, I did what I had to do. I kicked his butt. I rescued my friends. This is good enough for now.
Yeah. Not to mention, if anybody has...
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
If anybody could make me a gif of her kicking him in the face.
Oh my God. Can I just have an extended gif of that entire fight?
Yeah, it was glorious.
On repeat.
Yeah.
Just sit there, get some popcorn, and be like, here we go.
It's applicable to so many situations.
It totally is.
Yeah. Night Chick in the chat was like, you can't do both, save friends or capture me. How about I do it anyway?
What, like it's hard?
Yeah.
Although I will say that I was, because he loves his monologues.
Yeah.
Again, Troy Baker,
Yeah.
we love hearing him talk, but I was waiting for that moment where she would just shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of one of his, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
bits.
totally.
Like this.
Like it would have been
What
So
are
really
you gonna
Indiana
do,
Jones
watch?
moment is what you wanted. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
That
But
would have been nice.
that would have taken it from a 10 to an 11.
Yeah.
That being said, it's still a 10.
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
very happy with it being a 10.
Yeah.
We needed a 10, and this was glorious. Just stuck the landing. Everything was great. And just Steeljaw, so easily led. Or is it misled? I can't remember. Like, you're just loving this.
Dance, puppets, dance.
He really is. He just spent the whole episode going,
There's a lot of
And I
flim
mean, it's one of those things where with Steeljaw in this episode, you kind of, in a weird way, are rooting for him the same way you root for Iago and Othello, because he's just so much smarter than everybody else.
Yeah.
Except he's not. Just watching him underestimate Strongarm.
Yeah, no.
Twice
Yeah.
in 5 minutes.
No, that's
Like,
absolutely
all
true.
three.
And for me, that was incredibly gratifying because up to that point, like, Steeljaw had absolutely been 100% in control of the situation because it's, you know, he showed up and deceived them into thinking that he had, in fact, gotten into a skirmish with Scorponok and been injured and just wandered haphazardly to the Autobot base,
doorstop,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then...
Not a doorstop.
And then...
He could be their doorstop.
I was gonna
But
say.
it was such masterful planning where he's like, it was Scorponok, and they're like, all right, time to go hunt down Scorponok.
Whoever that is.
Whoever that is. And then they get there, and Scorponok's like, we're supposed to be meeting Steeljaw here. He said he would bring us warriors. So it's like he got rid of everybody so that he was left with just like Denny and Russell and Fix-It so that he was able to release the other Decepticons. So I like seeing that kind of planning.
It was like dominoes.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
No, you have to really. It's kind of like when you watch Game of Thrones. You can tell which like players
Yep.
like playing the game and are really good at playing
Yeah.
the game. And this one, you can tell. And there aren't a whole lot of people on that level in Transformers: Robots in Disguise because B is just trying to keep his team afloat, you know, and deal with every crisis as it comes up. But like Steeljaw, his level of thinking, you can tell he loves that game and he loves seeing the plans come together like that. And it's gratifying to watch him work. It really
I'm
is.
sure that B is just having Starscream flashbacks, like, oh dear God, not this again.
I just want to address something. So Kiki in the chat says, I was disappointed they captured Scorponok.
I feel the same
I
way.
actually completely disagree.
Really?
I
Me
really
too. I'm
liked
with
that
ya.
he was captured because I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
I love
sense.
it. I love it when they throw you for a loop like that. It's kind of like there was something that happened in the season finale of Star Wars Rebels that like totally blew my mind in a, oh my God, I can't believe they killed all these people, and I loved it.
Yeah. For
And
those of you who
just
haven't
for
seen the
this,
finale yet.
It's one of those, he's one of the big bads. And
Yeah.
I think when you see a male big bad and a female big bad, you immediately ascribe the leader role to the male because
Yeah.
that's how we're socialized, etc., etc. And then 2 episodes later, they just remove him from the picture
Perfect.
entirely. He's been captured. So now she is leading the charge, and you sit back and go, oh, this is where the power's been all along.
Yeah.
Well, and you get the feeling from this episode too that he, in terms of like their two of them, their partnership, he is more of the muscle, and she is more of the mastermind.
Well, he's not an idiot.
No.
But she's in charge, and removing him made that point.
Oh, yeah.
And she
let's-
just replaced Scorponok with, what's his name?
Steeljaw.
No,
the one you like.
the one with the
Oh,
horn.
Saberhorn.
Saberhorn.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy.
The one with the this.
The purple one.
Yeah, you have a thing for the purple ones, don't you?
What I was gonna say too is that, you know, in the scene where Steeljaw goes back to the bug bot base, basically.
The bug bot base.
Yeah, and you know, Glowstrike is not exactly concerned that Scorponok is out of the picture.
Well, they made him
And he
seem like a
paints it as,
traitor.
Yeah, Scorponok betrayed us. Oh no, and he got Crazy Bolt and what's his butt taken out?
Oh,
I do not
Crazy
remember.
Bolt.
I don't remember what name we had for them. I don't think it matters. If someone in the chat remembers or in the hashtag, please put it back
Illumination
up.
through
I
acceleration.
swear to God, they're just drinking the Kool-Aid.
They were adorable though.
Both the best and worst part of this was watching them get really impatient and Scorponok go, okay, you had your warning, and turn on them, and that's the point where B decides to step in, like, no, let him take them out, then you fight him.
Let them
Yeah.
wail
This
on
was
each other
not
for
a
little
good
bit.
plan.
Yeah.
But I will say, to get back to Scorponok, even though he was taken out as one of the boss villains, he was more menacing in this episode than we have ever seen him in any Transformers canon.
Yeah.
I want
With
to say.
the tail, everyone freaking out about the tail getting close to them. I'm like, they didn't mention anything about that in his little dossier, but he is a scorpion.
And I
Yep.
love
Sure,
his
this is
legs.
bad.
I love the design of him this
The
time around.
spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Oh.
cool.
They actually made him look intimidating and not Big Purple Oaf.
Yeah.
Which is the last time we saw him
Yeah.
because Beast Wars was a thing.
Well, and I didn't watch Transformers Energon or whatever, but as far
Yeah.
as I can tell, he was. As far as I can tell, he was pretty bumbling in that one too. As far as I can tell, I don't know. I don't want to hurt myself watching that show.
Yeah, no, oh god, don't even bother, you guys.
I like that B used magic to.
That's what I said. There was a lot of flim flam going on, and it was beautiful.
It was just, and bringing back the little magic trick from the beginning,
Yeah.
and bringing it back to this, and having it just be like, all right, this is what we got.
Well, and his reasoning to being like, Steeljaw wants this planet because of its magic.
And I love that Scorponok's argument wasn't magic doesn't exist. It's just, yeah, this planet doesn't have any. He wants it for other reasons. No, it totally does. Watch this.
Yeah, not that magic doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It's just, nah, not here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which the best reasoning.
That means that there, in the Transformers universe, there are magic planets somewhere.
And I want to
live there.
Hey, I believe it. I believe it. Totally believe it.
I want to do it.
And it's just, the natives call it flim flam. Oh my god.
I love it so much.
Yep.
Bless.
Yep.
I haven't heard that used since what, The Music Man?
Probably.
I thought that's what that was. Okay, I didn't know if I was just crazy.
Oh, we got trouble. Right here in Crown City.
But capital T, and that is also T, and that rhymes for Transformers. T, and that rhymes with D, and that stands for Decepticon. Okay. I fixed it. We're better.
There we go, there you
I'm usually a lot better than this, but boy, it's been a long day.
Well done. Well done.
That's good.
No, not really.
I
That was
liked
a
it.
save at the last second.
But I also liked, I mean, I know we kind of skipped it, but I loved the opening where they were trying to figure out how the coin disappeared and the different reasonings for it. I thought that was
And
really cool.
Russell explaining it. And
Yeah.
like, there's a whole generation of kids out there going, that's how they did it at my birthday party.
I was just like, stop it, you're not supposed to be doing that.
Showing how
they
they
make the
had to
sausage.
in order for it to
Yeah.
pay off.
Well, no, I know. I knew that's why it was going to come back. And then I was just like, oh, but magicians, you're not supposed to show your tricks.
Well, Russell didn't
magician
care
never
about
reveals
being a
his
magician
secrets.
Yeah.
anymore.
Well,
Denny
yeah.
wanted him to do it.
Yes.
Aw.
It's like, and I feel like there's a gif of a guy doing a magic trick in front of a baboon, and the monkey just loses its mind.
That's my favorite. I love that.
I feel like that's what we were watching at the beginning.
I thought it was great.
It's a simple magic trick, and all the bots are like, "Oh my god, oh my god!"
I just
what
like-
did we just?
I just
strong
like-
arm. Can I interrogate him? I can break him.
I liked Fix It, where he had this whole long explanation of what it is. and
That
it
was amazing.
Oh, it's
nowhere
beautiful.
close.
Where he was like, I got it, guys. He totally just like dematerialized that coin. It's not a big deal.
Like that's cool. No, it's actually right here. Whoa.
It's in my pocket.
It was great.
Okay, we kind of have to take a high-speed pass at these because we had technical difficulties earlier today.
Yes.
So, the second episode, our DVR didn't record it.
Yeah.
So we saw about 90 seconds of it, and then it went, we're done, and we went, what?
Oh, we gotta figure something else out.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for the Cartoon Network website. I
Yes.
guess.
Yes, for reals.
So, do we have any last thoughts on episode 7 before we move on? Aside from, this was amazing.
Just this was the episode we've been waiting for.
Yeah,
all
that was
season.
exactly what it was.
Yeah.
We had a great moment for Strong Arm. We got all the villains back together.
I know.
We
We got the band
see,
back together.
Yeah,
So-
we got to hear Grey Griffin's wonderful voice again.
Yes.
Everything's great.
Yeah. Everything was great. Yeah.
She's gonna
Everything
kill
was
a man at some point, and it's gonna be great. What did you say? You said something, and it was glorious.
Something about Troy Baker and Grey Griffin.
I-
Did Grey Griffin kill Troy Baker?
That's
Oh
it.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
I wrote it down because it was sedang funny.
Because he comes into the base and just collapses and he's bleeding all over the place. So my question was, did Grey Griffin kill Troy Baker?
And we all just kind of
Like, because he crashed their meeting. I wouldn't be super happy if some guy just crashed my meeting.
No,
I
I
get
want
it.
to know who they broke in order to get that much of an Energon trail. Like, it obviously wasn't Steeljaw, because for him it was just like cosmetic, bleh.
Yeah.
That was great.
I don't know who they broke. I think they just took a mini con and
Some,
went,
some mini
for the
gun's
cause.
life was sacrificed for Steeljaw's plot.
Just imagine it like in The Lion King, Rafiki breaks open the fruit and just falls on the wall.
what are you doing
That's what
with
I'm
that?
imagining.
I wish
I wasn't
breaking
ready.
open a mini con
No,
and just
no, I wasn't ready.
I would have loved to have seen somebody who was in on his plot, like watching him, just going, drama queen.
I would have loved that.
That's the whole audience.
Yep.
That's the whole audience
That's true.
going, all right, someone get the popcorn,
Right,
Steel Jaws in this one.
Somebody besides us, then. Anyway, we should probably
Eventually.
move on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll swing into episode 8, Bumblebee's Night Off, which kind of a misnomer.
A little bit, yeah.
At least it's not Adventures in Babysitting. That one was wild.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it turns out our poor bots are overworked and they're looking for a crate of high output cable because they keep getting stolen by none other than Crazy Frog over here.
Oh my
That was
god.
kind of a bait and switch, right? I thought this was going to be a spring load oriented episode.
Yeah.
And then they pulled the old switcheroo on us.
Yep.
He just shows up, laughs at their misfortune, and leaves.
Just
leaves
rides off
on-
into the sunset.
Mitchell on a train.
Howling with laughter at that.
I
Like,
thought it was
we
great.
have to talk to John and be like, so how did you get your voice up 2 octaves for that laugh? Because that is special, sir.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
I loved
And
it.
can you reiterate it?
Please. Would you mind?
Just for us.
I need that for like my cell phone ring. I need
Yeah.
that as my alarm. To
I was
get me
gonna say
up in
that's
the
gonna be my
morning.
alarm to get me up in the morning.
Spring load laughing at your misfortune. It's 6:45. Go to work.
And I'll just be like, fine. This one
Snooze, snooze, snooze. Go find Doratus. I'm so tired of you.
Yeah.
Do you think that train will take him to Dorado?
Probably.
I mean, that would be like a series unto itself. It's just like Springload's adventure to Dorado.
I was thinking of Thrilling Adventure Hour. They're trying to find the hobo princess,
Right.
except it's spring load on a train
Oh my
trying to
God.
find Doratus.
Can we put
He's
him
got
in a
this
princess
little
dress?
bindle full of nothing.
Yeah.
I would say I would really love like a POV for Springload to see the world from his point of view.
Yes.
Technicolor.
Yeah.
Potentially on fire, but mostly
I was gonna say
Technicolor.
mostly on
And
fire.
since he got away, we should start calling him Hypnotoad again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hypnotoad? I was going
It
with
was
Crazy
Hypnotoad,
Frog.
I think. Oh,
Okay.
maybe one or the other. We were bouncing back and forth.
It's all the same.
Yeah, that's why I had to do it. Gotta get one in there. Oh man.
Anyway.
So, yeah, we get his 2-minute cameo. And,
yes,
that's a Hypnotoad.
Hypnotoad. There
All
it is.
hail.
All hail.
So it basically culminates in Bede accidentally shooting Grimm.
Whoa,
I know.
whoa.
Wow,
Brought
guys,
me into the
it's
adult
a
world real quick.
Really good thing phasers were set to stun on that one, because
Because that escalated quickly.
And he
Yeah.
straight up said, if I had had it as a concentrated beam, you would be, sorry, Grimm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grim wasn't having a very good day that
No.
Well, Grimm
earlier
kind of
today.
walked up behind him and put his hand on his shoulder after we're like, the con is out there somewhere, and then it's like, oh, by the way, touch. Like, yeah, no, that,
Probably should have said something.
I think that's the first time Grimm has successfully snuck up on someone.
Probably.
Here's your reward.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
not
like
good.
being a large, lumbering Dinobot, you're at a slight disadvantage for sneaking up on people.
And yet,
Because you have
it was
little
a crit-
arms.
It was a crit success for his stealth roll.
Yeah.
And then it nearly gets him killed. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Progress?
It's all about, guys, this if there's anything we're learning this season, it's that like Grimm just needs to be Grimm. He just needs to like
Exactly.
operate
I've been saying
on that Dinobot like just punch stuff level.
So we've learned that it's been a
Works
couple
for me.
of weeks. It's been a couple of in-character weeks since Steeljaw's lovely little breakout.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that all of the cons have been working overtime to build
Right.
something, presumably a spaceship. And so all the bots have been working overtime trying to stop them. And if Autobots don't need brakes, yeah, you shot Grimm tonight.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
And I like that Denny brought that up too. He's like, you
Yeah.
almost just, blasted your friend or your comrade all up over the place. So
Yeah, it's just because you don't get physically tired does not mean that running at full capacity for forever. It's like you leave a computer on and running for hours and hours and hours. It's gonna burn out the motherboard.
Yeah.
Like, that is a bad way to live your life.
This reminded me of like that episode of Steven Universe where gems don't need to sleep.
Right.
Yes.
You look tired. We look awesome.
Chillitin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
the
that was
weird
the
dream
one.
sequence. Yeah,
That was the one, yeah.
Remember that one for the weird dream sequences.
Yep.
Anyway, so it turns out that the Collins have also been stealing soundboards because I didn't write down what they could be used for, but somehow B knew it right off the top of his
It
head.
had to
like,
do something
how?
with like you could actually make like a bomb or something out of it. It was
Or
something crazy.
lasers or
Yeah.
something
the shit.
really deadly.
Technical and Cybertronian.
Maybe they just want a really killer sound
That's
system.
what I
I
thought
know,
it
for
was.
their
At
spaceship.
home,
I mean,
yeah.
guys.
Well,
You
and
gotta
they
have
were
the right
using
soundtrack.
a subsonic force field. If you need something to kind of modulate the frequencies on that, and then, audio can be terrifying, guys.
Yeah.
So they find out, okay, well, most of the places have been hit, but the only place that hasn't been hit is the Thunderdome.
Dimmadome, Dimsdale, Dimmadome. Sorry, I was thinking that the entire time.
Concert by Rear Axle, which is like this Kiss-style glam rock
Yeah.
band. And most everyone's like, oh, okay. And Denny and B are just like, Rear Axle's here!
It's they're like Kiss, they're like Gem and the Holograms, they're like Guns
It
N'
was
Roses.
beautiful.
And so it's like, we are the two biggest fans, oh my god!
Right. And all of their songs are like car puns.
They
Yes.
were. It was
Carpool lane into your heart. And
Yeah.
like, see, to me that says threesome because you have to have
Yikes.
other people with you in the carpool
Accurate.
lane to get where you're
Oh, okay.
going.
I was like, what?
So to me that says threesome because you're taking someone with you.
It's a kid show.
Yeah. Someone didn't think, either they didn't think when they were naming that, or they thought way too hard.
I'm surprised that Megan is still here and alive after all those car puns. I thought you would just combust.
Yeah, I learned to tune things out after
Yeah.
a while.
Admittedly,
it's just elevator music in my ear.
Did you tune them out? Did you?
tune.
Did you?
Oh.
I love you. Anywho, I thought it was great seeing B just become a complete fanboy again.
I love when we get this side of him, and it's natural, and it's not like, no,
Yeah.
he's had some really weird poison, and now he thinks he's a 6-year-old. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no,
I
I
did
love
miss
when
that
we-
Unchika part.
yeah,
All that
yes,
music
when he's just dancing to the music, and people are walking by like, what the
Because
hell?
you know Miko must have taken
Must-
Oh
them
my
all
God,
to
yes.
like multiple
That
concerts.
it
Yeah.
makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
so much sense.
There's like, we have to have a human. Someone has to pay for parking. I can't go on my own.
It was amazing.
So let's bring Russell, who's 12.
12.
Well, you know, Crown City.
He can drive.
It's,
Yeah, that was my first
The
initial. I
laws
was
are a
like,
little
wait a
different
minute.
there. Also, Crown City is apparently a really big city. Like, this was one of the first episodes where I really felt like a real sense of how big it was, and it was because of all the like skyscraper
Yeah.
background we
Yeah.
saw behind the Thunderdome. I was like, oh, this is like a major
Like an
city.
actual city. Yeah, and, like, because I think the last time we really saw it on that kind of wide of a scale was way back when, oh gosh, what was her name? The Raven.
bird.
Yeah.
Yes.
Filch?
Filch,
I don't know.
yeah.
Is that, I don't know.
But
Yikes.
like
Finch?
which, by the way, how come she wasn't released?
Because who cares?
Maybe they couldn't find her pod. I don't know.
I legitimately
Maybe the
think
far
that
back.
she was just a because who cares, and because
Aw.
she's a one-trick pony. You can't do
Okay.
anything else with that character.
All right.
I don't know.
So why
Anyway,
release her if you can't have an episode for her?
I just want
Yeah.
more girl bots.
Yes,
Anyway,
please.
This is true.
Anyway, but like, but yeah, that was the last time we really got a real sense of how big Crown City was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I forgot about that.
So this whole thing was
Flinch?
just wild. With evidently they, this is the kind of band that has a giant space robot battle. So of course we have a big fight take place on stage. Like, I don't know how they found the room for this, and I don't know how nobody died. But the lighting and the framework and the animation,
Did it change
was
or am I
great.
crazy?
it changed.
Okay, I was like, what's happening?
It's like we took the budget and we kind of went, oh, we have a little left in the budget. Put it there.
Yeah.
Just,
You know
just
what?
throw it into this scene.
fight.
You know what every robot fight needs more of? Laser.
Yeah.
Lasers and lens
Rock
flares.
music background.
Yeah.
I was just worried about everybody who was in. Well, I keep calling it the Dimmadome, but what?
The
like,
Dimmadome.
yeah, but like, yeah, the fact that they were throwing like the the mini cons up against the amps, and I was like, oh,
no one died?
Guys, but like literally this season should just be called Robots in Disguise Pokemon. Everyone has a mini con.
Yeah,
And
every
I
single
feel
person.
like Biss got assigned these two, and they are Anvil and Hammer, and I just keep thinking of the Anvil chorus. And my first thought when it's like, oh, go find what made that noise, and they bring back a pair of cymbals. Like, I
so
know what made the
cute.
noise, find the person that made it, and I'm sitting here, said it out loud, they're kittens. I swear, they're kittens.
Yeah.
And then they started playing with the chorus. I'm like, oh God, they actually are kittens.
I think it's
so
adorable.
When Bisk takes them off and throws them on Bee's shoulders, I volunteer at a cat shelter, and occasionally you wind up in the middle of a litter of kittens who decide that you are a climbing wall.
Oh, boy.
Kittens on your shoulders hurts, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So him trying to get the mini cons off is like, oh, been there, done that. That's fun. That is not fun.
Kittens are very determined too.
No, yeah. I mean, even just like standing and then them climbing up your leg, you're just like, you're so cute. Oh, ow.
Oh,
You're
that,
so cute.
no.
It hurts
Two
me.
of them on your back going, let's get up on the shoulders and just taking the long way around. Like I said, been there, done that. I got some battle scars, you guys.
I was just also worried because that runway was awesome, but having both Bisk and Bee on there, I was just like, this is going to break and you're gonna kill so many people.
It's just no one died, no
Everything
one was
was fine.
hurt, and then we had this moment where Bee's getting his chassis kicked, and then it's like, I'm inspired by the music. Like, oh God, yes.
boy.
I am so. It's turned into a Power of Music save. I am
beautiful.
so happy.
I will say the one missed opportunity in this episode was like an actual song.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, it's one thing for it to be like awesome guitar riffs as they're
I know.
fighting, but like this was an opportunity for a musical number.
I totally
You
agree
got
with
the
you.
touch.
This could have gone full Gem in the Holidays.
Yes, I
I'm
would've been
just
fine with
saying,
it.
like, because they very easily could have, you know, you've got Bee and you've got Bisk, and they end up like out in the arena, and then all of a sudden it's like the grand finale of the show. Oh, it'd be so good. It would have been amazing.
And I love that everyone was just like, okay, must be Tuesday. Like, they show up and the manager's like, oh, wait for your cue. Like, yeah, sure, one of our robots is a giant lobster.
What I would have really loved is if the band had started singing a song like Robot Riot.
I know.
Like that.
That would've been
Something along
awesome.
those lines where it's like, this is, it's the same thing. It would have taken this episode from a 10 to an 11.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Totally.
I will say, I love Bee being a fan. Get a steering wheel cover for me if they have one. Size medium. Bless you.
I was like, wow.
And then just all of Bisk's stuff. Side quest failed, back to the main quest.
Those
I have
gamer
more
references-
attack levels than you do.
My
Just
heart
like,
swelled. It was amazing.
like the first time we got Bisk, it was 2 minutes. He was a one-off, and it was like, okay, you're kind of a dork. And then this episode was just like, you're speaking my language.
That's why I wore my shirt today, for keeping it classic. Just for
Yeah.
him. Just for him.
I will say I'm not 100% sure what lobsters have to do with video games, but
I
like,
don't
I'm fine with it.
Okay, well, why is the horned toad a crazy speed freak?
Well,
No, that doesn't make any sense
Well,
either.
I
Horned
tried.
toads
I was
do
gonna
not.
say I could come up with some explanations, but they're not very child friendly. So.
I love you so much.
6 minutes.
I will say that you have to hand it to Kari Payton, because Kari Payton does the voice of Bisk as well.
I know.
And he doesn't sound remotely like, because we're
He
getting
doesn't
so
sound
used-
like Kari Payton.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound like him, to the point where when you look it up, you're surprised to hear that it's
Yeah,
Kari
I would have
Payton
never
doing
guessed.
that voice. So it's really cool to hear him get to actually play around with that for an entire episode.
Yeah.
I was just really happy with this episode.
Yeah, it was
this,
super fun.
These two shows were so good.
Yeah,
and
I totally
am
agree.
so happy.
Yeah.
Again, it just, especially after the ones that we recapped last week, that were like, okay, this is weird.
This is weird.
Yeah.
And then this week was just like,
Yeah.
Maybe it'll continue that way.
Totally.
I hope so. I mean, what was this? 8? We got 5 more episodes this season. We don't have a lot
That's
left
so
for this
crazy
one.
to me.
I know. Why do we only have 13?
You know,
When does this occur?
pacing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we gotta hope for more seasons.
Yeah.
And things have been talked
We'll just bring
about
Mitchell
on
back in
Twitter,
here.
so-
Yeah, exactly. He'll tell us.
I know. No, so, there are
Mitchell.
other people have mentioned things on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I kind of went, you sure about that? And they went, yeah, what? Oh, was I not supposed to? Like,
Divulge to us your secrets.
You know you wanna.
we had a moment,
Yes.
and it was a while ago, so, you know, don't bother searching unless you have a lot of time on your hands. But yeah, I think we can, with reasonable confidence, say that we're probably going to get more.
Yeah.
Especially since not only do... is it about time to roll into predictions then?
I think so.
I mean,
Sure.
we're getting to that
Let's
point.
do it.
Do we have anything else we want to say about this episode?
I just like that Russell got some fun stuff to do, because that's one of the things is like I think that Robots tends to do a pretty good job of is incorporating
people.
the human characters, exactly. And it's and again, it's not just incorporating like the main humans, but just like people, you know, the citizens of Crown City in general. Like it's great. And I liked the bit where Russell like emerged after discovering that Bisk was down there with the mini-cons trying to steal the soundboard, and he comes up and he's like, and I can't remember where we parked.
that is just like, and then going to every car that looks like B and setting off car alarms.
Yeah, it
like,
was just, it was a very relatable moment for me.
If you've ever been in the Disneyland parking structure, excuse me,
You're like, I'm never getting home.
like some nights it's just like, oh God,
Yep.
here we go.
Yep. No, it was just a fun episode.
I really liked it.
Well, I actually really liked the design of the concert shirt that Russell had.
Yeah,
that had
it
the
was cool.
silhouettes of the people along the bottom. Like,
Yeah, I liked it.
that was a really well designed shirt.
And I like that Denny didn't mind having, was it pizza and
It was
chili cheese?
pre-distressed.
It was pretty, yeah. I thought that was cool.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
And then B pointing out that we can't afford to let anyone escape and take parts back to wherever. We don't know how many they have or how many more they need.
Yeah.
So we're getting down to the wire here.
For sure.
So this should be fun and interesting.
I'm excited.
But yeah, I think we're about ready to roll into predictions then.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Light show.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
It's just so great. But yeah, as far as the whole league of villainy that we have going on here, I don't think we're going to have it resolved by the end of the season, and I don't want it to be resolved by the end of the season because
agree.
that to me says rush job. This is something they could pull out for another season or two at least.
Absolutely.
Continue to have Azulabot be the main villain for a good long while.
Please.
Have Steeljaw undercutting her at almost every turn.
Yeah.
It just, I want to see this play out.
I feel like they will get to a conclusion that feels like, okay, this is the end of a story arc, but they're not going to wrap up what's going on with these villains.
I mean, they can't. They just released everyone from season
Exactly,
one.
that's so true.
We had so many more nicknames, you guys.
Gotta start putting up a list.
The
Yeah,
villains
we
I
are,
need to make a
Excel sheet,
spreadsheet.
yeah.
Yes,
That's what I
there
need.
it is.
Yeah, the villains are definitely at large again, and I'm excited to see villains that we saw last season circle back in, because it's like, you know, this time we got to spend some time with Springload and with Bisk, and so I feel like in subsequent episodes we're going to get more from them. And also, don't forget, you know, we're trying to tell two stories here. We're telling, you know, the Lord of the Rings quest to get back home with Optimus and Windblade.
The B team.
Yeah, the B team that B is not on.
We have the B team and the B team.
Yeah.
And of course, sort of the main story has been the actual B team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the B team and the B team.
Yeah, no, I feel like this season is going to wrap up with because they keep dropping other elements of Prime throughout they're just like sprinkling it throughout
Yeah.
the season, just be talking about like, oh, I was a rock fan when I was here. Oh yeah, I had a friend who went through this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we need somebody with medical expertise.
Please,
hopefully.
for God's sake,
Seriously.
name drop Starscream.
Seriously.
Just do it.
So I'm hoping that season 2 ends with the team coming back together and them incorporating some aspects
I
of
agree.
Prime, and that's a good way to wrap up season 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree that the other things with Glowstrike's team, that'll be more season 3 stuff if we get a season 3.
Yeah,
So,
I really want Ratchet, but knowing that we have so few episodes, I'm waiting for him to show up in the season finale.
That's
how
my
I
inclination
feel.
as well.
That's probably what's good.
That's what I was gonna bring up
I
next.
was thinking if we had 26 episodes, like, okay, he'll show up a third of the way in, 2/3 of the way in, whatever. And I'm like, oh, we're halfway done. We're in season finale territory now. That's probably what we're gonna get. Because I am definitely sitting here going, we got a toy. Don't you dare lie to me, toy line.
Do we think that the B team and the B team are finally going to meet up at the very end, or do you think they're going to
Yeah.
keep them split up?
Next season.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
I think
what I'm
finale.
hinging
I
on
think
for next
finale.
season.
I'm with Megan. I think finale. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before.
I feel like we should make a bet.
Ooh.
You two and us two.
Sure.
Season finale.
Sure.
Next season.
Well, I did win the last bet.
You did.
You won because she never came back.
No, she came back like briefly. Or was
Did
that not?
she?
Or was
Did
that this
she?
season where we saw her again?
Did we see Hank this season?
We've definitely seen Hank again.
again, but now I can't remember if it was the beginning of this season or towards the end
Somebody
of last
help
season.
us.
It was the end of last. It was the end of last season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. I just, oh my, speaking of people we want back.
Right?
Her.
Right?
Yeah, we had a fan send us a really great theory about Hank, and ever since I'm like, yeah, can we get payoff?
Can we do that? Can we bring her back?
It's like, we have a really great female character in this season, in this series. Too bad we haven't
Where
seen
is
her.
she?
And,
Swear to goodness, please come back.
but yeah,
Just
you
come
were
on.
saying bet? What are we gonna bet?
Yeah.
Oh. My usual go-to is cake. But I'm thinking
That's my
other
always
things.
go-to is
That's
cake.
go-to is cake.
I can make cakes. It's fine.
I'm down. I make mini cakes. I'll
Okay,
make it
you know
work.
what?
Cookies?
Next week.
Transformer shaped cookies.
Okay, guys,
That's
guys,
actually true.
in the comments for this episode, what should the bet be?
Ooh.
What do the losers provide for the table?
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
And
Leave it up
I
to
think
them.
we can settle that for the season finale week. We'll be able to once we watch the season finale, we'll know for sure whether or not that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, in the comments, I guess we will pick our favorite and/or we'll brainstorm. So, what should the bet be, guys? Let us know. And while you're at it, you can trundle on over to iTunes and you can subscribe to the podcast and you can rate us 5 stars and you can leave us a comment because we absolutely adore you guys. And when you leave us ratings, it helps us out. People look at that. Our producers go, you know what? We like these people talking about giant robots. We should continue to have them talk about giant robots. And then we get to continue to talk about giant robots and make puns and make Megan sad. It's a great time. Did we get the victory and the awe at the same time?
That was
No,
me.
that was her saying
awing.
aw.
Yeah.
I feel like we had an awe sound effect and a victory at the
No,
same
it was
time.
just us.
Okay.
It's just us,
Okay.
man. That's just me and me laughing.
The engineer is on my side.
Someone help me.
It must be nice. It must be nice. So yes, like, comment, subscribe, leave a rating. If you leave a rating, we will read it on the air. We haven't had a new one in like a month. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to leave some ratings and get them read on the air, that would be glorious. This is usually about the time when we do them. For now, does anyone have any final thoughts or final predictions?
Just
Crickets.
more steel jaw. Always.
I was gonna say more strong arm kicking butt.
Yes.
I will say I did like that we were talking about the whole strong arm steel jaw confrontation and everything like that and how she bested him. I liked that he was like, I'm starting to like you.
like
kid.
it.
I'm starting to like
When
you.
she stole the remote from him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like,
He's just like, oh, hey, you've learned things. And she's like, yes, I know, I'm going to
you
destroy you.
used trickery to outdo me. I like you. I respect that.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, the
I like
child
your-
I hate is all grown up.
Yeah. It's like, I like your gumption,
He's
your
into it.
moxie. I like all of it.
I like your Mexican.
Really too bad that you're screwing up my plan with it. But, you know, gotta admire it.
Call me if you ever turn evil.
That's what I was waiting for. I love
They
that.
would just be like, yes, this one. I have adopted this one.
She is mine.
And mold her into my image. Here's a little headband
For
with
her
wolf ears on
inevitable
it.
betrayal.
The shark bait. Ooh, ha, ha.
For you. Curse your son, but inevitable betrayal. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I think that is about all we have for this week. Alexis, where can the people find you?
Oh, you can find me all over social media at ATorres890.
And I'm Emma Fyffe. You can find me all over the internet wherever Emma Fyffes are sold at Emma Fyffe, which is my name.
I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @themenguin. That's TheMenguin. I also do a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, and I write articles for the movie Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out.
Do it.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at KiaXet. That's KIAXET, and on Snapchat at Kia Prime. And Arrow keeps going on hiatus, and it's super weird. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. But Blind Spot is here. Blind Spot's on Tuesdays. You can see me there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, put what you think we should bet on in the comments for this episode, and we'll take a look and transform and roll out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Illumination through acceleration.
views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.